The first thing I noticed about the lake cabin wasn't the silence or the water shimmering like polished glass at sunrise, it was the freedom. The kind of freedom you don't realize you've been craving until you finally breathe it in. No shared walls. No clipboard-carrying busybodies. No passive-aggressive emails about trash cans or lawn height. Just trees, water, and a weathered wooden dock stretching into the lake like an open invitation to live on my own terms. I had spent years boxed inside HOA-controlled neighborhoods where every decision, paint color, fence height, even where guests parked, felt like asking permission to exist. So when I found this cabin listed as outside HOA jurisdiction, I didn't hesitate. I closed fast, paid cash, and moved in quietly, believing the words on the deed were enough to protect me. I was wrong, at least at first. The first week passed peacefully. I repaired the dock, replaced a few rotting boards, and tied my small fishing boat to the cleat. I drank coffee on the porch, watching mist rise off the lake, finally convinced I'd escaped. Then, on the 8th morning, the calm shattered. 3 black SUVs rolled down the gravel road like they owned it, tires crunching loud enough to wake the birds. They parked crookedly near my cabin, doors swinging open in unison. Out stepped 6 people, 4 men, 2 women, all dressed in crisp polos with embroidered logos, khakis, sunglasses, and expressions sharpened by entitlement. One of them carried a thick binder like a weapon. Another already had his phone raised, recording. They didn't knock. They didn't introduce themselves. The man in front pointed at my dock and said, "That structure violates HOA code. You'll need to remove it immediately." I remember blinking, genuinely confused, because I absolutely knew what I'd bought. I calmly replied, "This property is not part of your HOA." That's when they smiled. Not friendly smiles, predatory ones. The woman with the binder flipped it open dramatically, pages fluttering like she'd rehearsed this moment. "Actually," she said, "the lake is governed by the Lakeside Preservation Association, which we manage. All docks fall under our authority." They spoke with confidence, the kind that makes you doubt yourself even when you're right. Neighbors began to appear along the shoreline, watching silently from their own docks, arms crossed, curiosity mixed with satisfaction. This wasn't their first storm in. I felt the old HOA anxiety creep up my spine, the pressure to comply just to make it stop. But something felt off. Too aggressive. Too rehearsed. Too eager. I asked them to leave my property. They laughed. One man stepped closer and said, "You don't want to make this difficult. Non-compliance comes with fines. Daily fines." He said it like a threat and a promise. They claimed my dock blocked community access, that my boat violated visual harmony, that my cabin's exterior didn't match approved lakeside aesthetics. Every sentence dripped with control. When I repeated that they were trespassing, the man filming zoomed in on my face and said, "This will look great in court." That's when I realized something important. They assumed I was ignorant. Just another outsider who didn't know the rules, didn't know the history, and definitely didn't know the lake. After 10 minutes of intimidation, they left me with a printed notice of violation slapped against my door like a scarlet letter. As the SUVs disappeared, the lake returned to its deceptive calm, but I didn't. I went inside, opened my laptop, and pulled up my closing documents, surveys, and most importantly, the lake easement records I'd reviewed before buying. See, what they didn't know was that I hadn't chosen this cabin randomly. I'd done months of research. This lake wasn't HOA owned. It was a federally regulated water body, and the docks, every single one, were built on submerged land leased decades ago under a master agreement that had quietly expired for most homeowners. Mine hadn't. The original owner of my cabin had secured a perpetual dock use right tied to the land, not the association. A rare loophole. A powerful one. And while the HOA managed appearances, I controlled something far more valuable, legal access points to the water. By sunset, I had emails drafted, maps highlighted, and phone calls scheduled. I wasn't angry anymore. I was focused. Because when people storm in demanding what they don't own, the most satisfying response isn't shouting, it's letting the law speak for you. If you're watching this story unfold and you love seeing bullies exposed by facts and patience, make sure you subscribe to the channel, Because what happens next doesn't just shake the HOA, it turns the entire lake against them.